Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Emma, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about my diagnosis of EDS or Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And this is something that I've been diagnosed with for under a year, um, but it kind of felt like all the pieces of my life didn't really make sense health-wise, because I've got mental health issues, I've got IBS, I've got dodgy eyes, like my, not this eye, this is my good eye, but this eye wanders off, which is, yeah, um, due to like connective tissues, which is all to do with what EDS is. And what else have I got? I've got loads of different problems. I've always had period pains, joint instability. I've got a shoulder that pops out of place constantly, and my jaw pops out of place as well quite a lot. And I realised I have really stretchy skin. So all of these things didn't really add up to me. And it wasn't until I got referred to cardiology for having like palpitations and dizzy spells where they diagnosed me with something called vasovagal syncope, which upon looking it up and seeing what it was, it said that on the internet it said that autonomic dysfunction can be a symptom of connective tissue disorders. So I then got kind of stuck down like a rabbit hole of looking up different things. Anyway, it came up with, I looked on Google and it came up with this thing called EDS. And looking up all the symptoms, I've literally got pretty much all of them. Well, quite a lot of them anyway. So yeah, I went to my doctor and I explained the situation. There's a criteria called the Beighton criteria, which is which tests your hypermobility, which is an indicator for having EDS or Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And yeah, I scored 7 points out of the 9 that you can score. And to be diagnosed as an adult with EDS, you have to have more than 5 points. But yeah, it's a condition that kind of connects all the dots from all different things that could be happening to you. All the different things that you think, like I've always got things wrong with me and I don't know why. It kind of connects all the dots together and paints a picture where you can actually understand your body and what it's doing, which is really great for somebody like me. So yeah, that was my diagnosis. So yeah, I went to the doctor. I was like, doctor, my skin is stretchy. And I can do all sorts with my body. I can like, I've got really curly thumbs. I've got fingers that pull backwards. My knees pull backwards. I showed her everything. I showed her my shoulder because that pops out of place. You can't really see. But yeah, that's like, that's in, and then there's my shoulder bone. But yeah, that's my shoulder kind of clicked out. But yeah, anyway, definitely made me feel more validated having the diagnosis, although there's nothing really that they can do. But yeah, it's just really validating, and I finally know what's going on with my body, because for a long time I didn't. I just kept on finding that things were going wrong. The first thing that I noticed was when I was about 15, I got really, really, really bad IBS. So bad that I was like dropping out of school quite a lot. I quit my college course over it because I was just so embarrassed. And at the same time, my shoulder started clicking out of place. And I didn't put the two together, I just thought it was weird. But yeah, that was that. And then over the years, just more and more things kept on happening. Like, for example, somebody sat on my foot and broke it in 2 places, and you would have thought that that would spark something in me, as if to say, like, what's going on with me? But no, I walked around on it for 4 days before going to the doctors, because it was painful, but I felt pain worse and the same as that before. But then I realised, like, now looking back on it, it's because I'm used to pain, that pain didn't really feel like anything tragic. And then when I saw the X-ray, I was like, oh, my foot is very broken. I actually went to the doctors and said, my foot is turning black. And my doctor took one look at my foot and she said, you need to go down to A&E. And she gave me like a fast track for A&E to get seen as soon as possible. And yeah, also realised then that I have the feet of like an 80-year-old, and that still didn't trigger anything in me. I've got really bad bunions. I'm like not even 30 yet, and I've got bunions, and I've had them since I was about 9 years old, which can be another thing that's associated with connective tissue disorders. So yeah, there was all these different things that just kept on adding up, and I didn't really connect the dots, and yeah, it's given me a lot of validation and a lot of, I don't know, it just makes me feel nice inside knowing what's wrong with me and knowing that I'm not crazy and I'm not making things up. It's not all in my head, and having somebody that tells you that as well. Like I got referred to rheumatology, and they're the ones that diagnosed me because they did all the checks on me and everything. And the doctor said, yep, you've definitely got hypermobility, and went through all of my history. I'd literally written like a whole page full of things that have happened to me throughout the years that I didn't think were anything to worry about or anything connected, but actually they were connected. So yeah, and literally, like, I don't know if you can see, but I've got like pyogenic papules, which is like another indicator of it. Translucent skin. I'm so pale. I've always been so pale, and that can be another thing that goes hand in hand with it. I'm not sure what type I have because I think there's 13 different types of it. At the moment I'm down as the hypermobility type, but I would like to get testing for all the other types. Hypermobility type is the only one out of the whole lot of the 13 that doesn't have a found gene associated with it yet. There is one, but they just haven't found it yet. They don't know what they're looking for, I think, at the moment. But the rest have. So I'm definitely gonna go for genetic testing and see if I have any of the other types. But yeah, I'm just glad that I finally have a diagnosis and a reason for everything that's happened to me. So yeah, if you feel like your symptoms may be quite similar to mine, then you should look up EDS online, and it goes through all the different criterias that you need to meet in order to be diagnosed. And yeah, just try and get your doctors to take you seriously. And yeah, if you can get a diagnosis, you're probably not going to get any extra help, but it's just validating for you, I think, to know why all these different things have happened in your life.